Are you ready to lime? We're liming, and this is a real special lime at a real special time for the Trinidad and Tobago Diaspora. We have a special guest in this line, Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs of Trinidad and Tobago, Honorable Minister Amery Browne. We'll be chatting about some exciting news, not just for the Trinidad and Tobago diaspora, but for the entire Caribbean diaspora. We'll be talking about new events and initiatives, all that we're doing to bring the diaspora together, to bring national pride and unity. This is a great line. Join me on Carib Nation TV for our next episode of Liming with Monique. Are you ready to lime? We're liming. And this is a real special lime at a real special time for the Trinidad and Tobago diaspora. We're celebrating World Steel Pan Day. We're celebrating Trinidad and Tobago independence and Trinidad and Tobago's Republic Day. I have a very special guest in the line, Honorable Amery Browne, Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Honorable Minister Amery Browne, thank you so much for joining us in the Liming with Monique show. We are delighted to have you here with us. Are you ready to lime?
I am ready to lime. Good morning, Monique, and all of your viewers. And I'm very excited about our conversation today.
Wonderful. We are truly excited to have you with us in the Lime. You know, this is a very special time to Lime for us here in the US and around the world as the Trinidad and Tobago diaspora. And many of our viewers are members of the Trinidad and Tobago diaspora. And so we are so excited to have you at this time. A very special time for us. We just celebrated World Steel Pan Day on August 11th. We're about to move into the celebrations of Independence Day on August 31st, and then Republic Day on September 24th. So national pride and love, those are at an all-time high for us here in the diaspora. Minister, share with us, please, what you see as the role, because we are so passionate about sweet tea and tea. Share with us what you see as the role of the Trinidad and Tobago diaspora in the success of our nation.
Well, listen, Monique, we are very proud of our diaspora. The diaspora of Trinidad and Tobago really are our brand ambassadors. Very often when persons, the first thing they would feel, hear, see of Trinidad and Tobago would be our people. And therefore, you are carrying our flag, our national identity, our accent, our cuisine, our creativity, really the ethos of our national spirit. But we would like to see more. We would like to get more. We would like to give more and exchange more and benefit more from the Trinidad and Tobago diaspora. So we've introduced and are finalizing a diaspora policy, trying to bring elements of our diaspora and diaspora associations closer to our 20 overseas missions. I would say for this program, with special emphasis on our missions in the United States of America, because that's where we have our largest representation in terms of the diaspora, including you, beautiful Monique. And we have some very good examples of powerful diaspora representatives with cultural identity and power, with commercial and investment identity and power, really setting an excellent example of the kind of interaction and the kind of value that we can get from each other, the diaspora and the homeland of Trinidad and Tobago.
we are really yearning for engagement here in the diaspora. We are always looking for ways in which we can come together as a community to mobilize and engage and support Trinidad and Tobago. I know people think that because we live here in the US, you know, we have separated ties, or we just visit at carnival time, or where at Christmas, or when there's a special occasion. But the fact is that Trinidad and Tobago and how we can contribute to the success of our country is always in our, you know, that's always on our hearts and minds. Can you chat with us or share with us, Minister, just a little bit about that diaspora policy? Because that is really a phenomenal initiative that we were so happy to hear about. What is the objective of that policy? And what do you hope to come out of that policy, or what role can we play in the success of that policy?
Okay, this policy is very important, being led by the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, and still benefiting from extensive collaboration with diaspora elements and associations, as well as with other ministries and international organizations that would have sort of run this course before. So we're not reinventing the wheel. And so we're collaborating with other entities that already have a clear framework of engagement between homeland and diaspora. So we're in the process of finalizing this policy, which would really present a clear roadmap for deeper engagement. As it stands now, yes, we acknowledge the enthusiasm is there. We feel it, we see it, we live it. It is a reality that many members of our diaspora follow local news and developments and achievements even more sometimes than the people who live in Trinidad and Tobago currently. So the passion is certainly there. What is required is across the world to be able to present a clear roadmap and a framework for engagement where there's information readily available, where we utilize our technologies, a clear database, mechanisms for engagement with InvestTT, with ExportTT, with Tourism Trinidad, Tourism Tobago, and all the other elements where members of our diaspora can very easily interface with the potential to support, develop, and expand the brand of Trinidad and Tobago. And in so doing, can also enrich and enhance their businesses, their entities, their productivity in the communities in which they are demonstrating success today. So it really, this policy is aimed at helping to elevate our engagement with the diaspora to a whole new level. It is very much anchored in our National Development Plan, Vision 2030, and therefore presents a very clear pathway to deeper engagement with the diaspora. It's something we're very excited about, and as I said, we're in the final stages of consultation in finalizing and confirming this new diaspora policy.
You know, Minister, all that you were saying there is just music to our ears. And you use the keywords, engaging, consultation, business, all of the words that we want to hear. You even spoke about Vision 2030. So that really warms our hearts to know that there is a vision for the development of our nation, and that we are considered to be an active and an important element, and given the opportunity to contribute to the development of our nation and to the vision or the realization of Vision 2030. But you know, Minister, a few minutes ago, you spoke about the diaspora and identified us as brand ambassadors. And we take that role very seriously, right? Wherever we go, we know that we are flying high the flag of Trinidad and Tobago. And as you know, a company owned by my husband and myself, CariBeat, we work very closely with Tourism Trinidad Limited in promoting Destination Trinidad and Tobago. From your seat as the Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, you also play a very important role in promoting Destination Trinidad and Tobago. What are your perspectives or your vision? What is your vision for promoting Destination Trinidad and Tobago?
Trinidad and Tobago, sometimes we undervalue ourselves and exactly the unique attributes and characteristics that we offer to the world and that we can offer at a higher level. So the Ministry of Foreign and the CARICOM Affairs has been working very closely with the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, with other sectors within the government, and also with civil society organizations to really seek to promote Trinidad and Tobago at a level of a higher standard. Because there's so many exciting things going on about our nation right now. We have been blessed with a beautiful platform at the United Nations General Assembly, where for the very first time, we will have a national of Trinidad and Tobago, Ambassador Dennis Francis, holding the presidency of the General Assembly, one of the most prominent and esteemed positions in the international community. So that offers another platform for persons to identify with Trinidad and Tobago, to hear our voice, and to see the very powerful ethos of multiculturalism, of respect for various ways of life, respect for various cultures, religions, the melting pot that is Trinidad and Tobago, and a powerful sense of justice and creativity. And then we had a number of important celebrations that also has elevated awareness and understanding of what makes Trinidad and Tobago special. You'd recall we recently celebrated the 60th anniversary of our independence in 2022. And I was absolutely thrilled by members of our diaspora really embracing that 60th anniversary celebration, carrying the flag and the lime everywhere across the world in various cities in the United States of America and elsewhere. And I think that, if I had to put my finger on it, really kicked off in 2022 a series of elevated awareness, top of mind awareness of Trinidad and Tobago, which we continue to benefit from. And then back here at home, we've been hosting a number of high profile diplomatic, regional, and international engagements, which has been carried in the international news and really has helped to elevate the brand of the country. So yes, we do have challenges, just like every other developing country, which we are working on. But even as we do so, we lean and depend on members of the diaspora to carry the message of what makes our little nation so special and why persons should want to visit us, should want to touch and taste our culture and cuisine. The steel pan itself, you mentioned World Steel Pan Day, which is a tremendous achievement, really a tribute to all the persons who have lived and died for our national instrument, the beautiful steel pan, the inventors, the tuners, the arrangers, all of them, now elevated by our mission at the United Nations, lobbying very hard, where we got over 80 countries to co-sponsor a resolution to declare August 11th World Steel Pan Day for the first time. So every year at that time, we anticipate an outburst, pulsation of steel pan celebration led by our beautiful diaspora. And there's so many other chapters that we've recently achieved in this beautiful journey of elevating Trinidad and Tobago to what I believe is its rightful place, a place of leadership, a place of excitement, a place of diversity and recognition that there's this little pearl in the Caribbean Sea that's unique and that you want to be a part of.
Absolutely, Minister. You know, you articulated that so beautifully. A little pearl in the world that is having such big impact in terms of what we are teaching the world about embracing cultures, about diversity, about taking our resources as small as we are and making such a big contribution that's impacting every corner of the world. And so that leads me to my next question, Honorable Minister. You know, we are hyped and we are excited and we are so proud. Are there any new initiatives or events or any new information in terms of what is coming up for maybe the rest of 2023 and 2024? Of course, you know, everywhere we go, people are asking, well, are you going to Trinidad for Carnival 2024? And I always say there's so much more to Trinidad. I mean, Carnival is definitely the greatest festival on earth, but there is so much more to beautiful Trinidad and Tobago than Carnival. So are there any new initiatives or events or festivals or anything that you want to share of which we can be proud and look forward to in the rest of 2023 or into 2024?
Yes, absolutely. So we mentioned this beautiful journey that we are on. I did reference the fact that we are taking up the presidency of the General Assembly.
Yes.
So from my seat, that is a position of great responsibility for the ministry, for our nation. So what you're going to see, members of the diaspora will see, is not just Ambassador Dennis Francis in the chair presiding over the meetings of the United Nations General Assembly, but an increased exchange and engagement with government ministers and key representatives of the country. So for World Steel Band Day already, Minister Randall Mitchell came up to New York and gave a speech as was involved in the steel pan at the UN and Times Square and elsewhere. There's going to be a lot more of that during not just 2023, but well into 2024 as our cabinet and our society is going to be engaged much more comprehensively in the work of the United Nations for this 78th session. But back at home, we also have this innovation of a Tobago Carnival. So that takes place in October. So that's coming up. The preparations have already begun, and that's something very exciting because it's new on the national landscape, and it helps broaden our base from simply February, March National Carnival in both Trinidad and Tobago, where you have the big show in Port of Spain, which is an annual tradition, and now you have this a few months later, the opportunity to visit again, relax a little bit more, enjoy the beaches, etc., but also have the music, the taste, the vibe of a smaller, but also quite unique carnival experience in Tobago. So that's something I would want our diaspora to dip into, to taste, to participate in as well. And Trinidad and Tobago really is a place of great vibrancy. One of the areas we've been focusing more on is our heritage with respect to cuisine.
Okay.
Again, that's another area that sometimes we discount ourselves because the taste of our country is very unique, having been influenced by so many ethnicities and inputs from all around the world. And that not only gives us a broad menu to select from with respect to restaurants, cafes, and dishes, but each of those cultures have influenced each other as well. So the curry that you get in Trinidad and Tobago is unique. That taste is unique. You're not going to get it even in India. You're not going to get it anywhere else. And when a Trini makes a pilau or any other dish, it's different. It's
Yes.
special. And I think that's an asset that we have to leverage more. So what we're seeing now in our country is a lot more uh, dedicated cuisine areas that when you enter the space, you have a wide variety of selections. So there's the fish fry in Chagaramas. There are cuisine options being opened up in the Toko area, in Mayaro, and really dispersed throughout the country so that visitors, in addition to the music and the shopping and the beaches, etc., really can become easily immersed into the flavor of Trinidad and Tobago. And I know members of the diaspora know what I'm talking about
Yes,
because
we do.
yes, because through some of our members of the diaspora, we have actually been able to put our brands, our pepper sauce, or Angostura bitters, or alcohol, and the other important flavors of our country on the shelves and in the kitchens of persons who may not have had that precious opportunity otherwise. And we're very grateful to our brand ambassadors in doing exactly that.
You know, what you said was so powerful in terms of how all of these elements are so inextricably linked. The culinary cultural tourism, our national pride and our identity, our national identity, and our national personality. Because of the work that members of the diaspora are doing around the world, and particularly because of the work that you are doing, Honorable Minister, through your ministry and just through your administration in terms of building Trinidad and Tobago and ensuring that Trinidad and Tobago takes the worldwide or the global stage in such a way that the world knows the value of Trinidad and Tobago and the unique impact that we have is very powerful, and it helps our own success in the diaspora, because when people hear about Trinidad and Tobago and they hear about the success of our country and the power of our democracy and the work that is being done by our government, as well as the success of our products on the shelves, all of those things are inextricably linked for our individual and our collective success. So thank you, Honorable
Yes.
Minister, for the work that you are doing, and in particular, the work that your ministry is doing. We're about to wrap up the line, Honorable Minister, and I want to ask
Wow.
about what message you would like to share with our diaspora. Again, you know, we're yearning for engagement, and, you know, we love to hear from you. I had the great fortune of meeting with you a few months ago at the Embassy of Trinidad and Tobago, which was a wonderful discussion. I know that you're always engaging with members of the diaspora, but as we enter into this very celebratory period, what message do you have for our diaspora?
Well, thank you so much, Monique, for this opportunity to engage. I would like us to do this more often, and I want to congratulate you on this program, which really provides a key voice and connection with and amongst members of our diaspora. So the message is, let's be excited again about Trinidad and Tobago. There are benefits in all directions as we seek to elevate the brand of our country and carry our flag into corridors and spaces where it may never have been before. Uh, we are building an ecosystem in which members of the diaspora serve a critical and highly important role. Uh, yes, myself and my ministry have been heavily involved, but what we really want to develop is Team Trinidad and Tobago, where
Wow.
that red, white, and black is really the leader in this process, and where we all have a space, we all can identify, and we all can feel the pride and the benefit of working together and elevating and developing our country and by extension our region, because Trinidad and Tobago more and more is serving a leadership role within the Caribbean community as well. So when you're working with your homeland, you're also working with your home region, which is very, very powerful. So let's continue to work in building Team Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. I will be wearing red, white, and black for the next month. So
Perfect.
I need to
Perfect.
find some more red, white, and black
You're,
clothes.
you're looking lovely today in your colors.
Thank
And
you
in
so much.
advance,
Thank
Monique,
you.
happy independence. Let's continue to work together. You're doing a wonderful job. Keep
Thank
it up.
you. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Wishing you a wonderful day, and thank you again for taking the time to Lime. I know that our viewers have enjoyed this Lime, and I hope you have too. Thank you again.
Thank you. God bless you.
Bye-bye. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Liming with Monique. I look forward to you joining me next time for the next Lime on Caribbean TV.